As mentioned in the collective video, the northern half of the campus, taken over by the wilderness, retains its character as a walking path for an individual to stroll through or even introspect in. The wilderness is left untouched for this purpose. However, its edges are reimagined. The roads at the eastern and western edges connect the city north of the unstructured wilderness to the collective spaces of the campus to its south. Redesigning this northern edge, the asymmetrical boundary wall through which the wilderness meets the city, has thus become my focus. The current sidewalk is used haphazardly by students and drivers as spaces to rest under the shade of the wilderness. It struck me that there exists no urban civic space in the neighborhood solely for an individual, for someone like an office worker or a delivery driver to take a quick break. The wall was thus approached as a mass with niches within them that accommodate these activities. The city side therefore also assumes the nature of an urban space for an individual, just like the walking path at the other edge of the volume that becomes the boundary wall. The non-programmatic volumes on a university campus are its manicured gardens and lawns. With cities across India rapidly densifying, the universities are usually its only large pockets of structured green. Its maintenance is an ever-present background to the life of a university. Every day, several truckloads worth of dry, organic detritus are transported from the universities to landfills like the Pirana landfill to be dumped or burned. What if the volume of the wall was an acknowledgement of this process of maintenance? Just as the University Consortium Archives is a consortium of the shared history of the university neighborhood, the wall developed into a consortium of the detritus that was swept up in these universities, binding the university neighborhood together through the idea of maintenance. Dry fallen leaves and other detritus collected through the maintenance of the manicured gardens from all the universities are transported by garbage trucks to the edges of the wall. The waste is then offloaded into containers that form the wall. The nature of the wall just changes over time as it grows in volume. Thinking about the construction of the changes within the south side of the University Consortium campus inspired the idea of using the beds of decommissioned dump trucks as the containers of the detritus. The 2.3-meter wide dump truck bed forms a module of the wall with niches utilizing the existing trees in its pathways along the road to provide natural shade to these rest spaces. A total of 9 niches in the 332-meter wall are formed. The niche, including its materiality, also arise out of the same idea of a consortium of maintenance. Larger branches and trunks that are pruned or fall during monsoons are too big to be dumped into the containers as compost. They therefore are filled into angled gabion walls of the niche. The container forming the niche holds all the services: a dry toilet, a sink, a drinking water station for any city user to use, and a space for the decentralized storage of equipment for the maintainers of the detritus wall. The Gabin wall allows for ventilation, and the toilet's mechanism is designed to reduce the smell and the need for maintenance as much as possible. The grey water from the sinks in the dry toilets is used to irrigate the manicured gardens of the campus. The ends of the wall consist of two gates with watchmen's cabins allowing for vehicular and pedestrian access to the campus. The gates are formed by the modules and the gabion walls, with the cabin occupying a redesigned container. On the western edge, the existing Kirana stores and the abandoned Amul store are demolished and redesigned. The shops now accommodate storage and distribution spaces of the humus, along with provision stores arranged in an order that serves both the campus and the city. This way, the inhabitants of the campus do not need to exit the gate to buy necessary provisions. The overall arrangement also arose out of this theme of acknowledging services. The shops are arranged around a service courtyard large enough to account for the turning radius of trucks delivering or loading goods to the back entrances of the shops. The walls facing the road are broken and replaced by the Gabion walls. The sidewalk is pulled inwards, away from the busy crossroad, with the wall enclosing an outdoor space to rest, used by the visitors to the new Amul store to enjoy the wilderness. After being left to decompose for a few months to a year, occasionally being turned, the humus formed is then shoveled out and wheelbarrowed to the storage spaces at the western edge. It is transported back to the different manicured spaces of the universities to be used as fertilizer. The circulation for the maintenance of the wall also forms the walking path of the campus, whereas for the city and the university users, the wall also becomes a promenade, along which students walk through the road that connects the BRTS bus stops and all of the universities of the neighborhood together.